Good morning, Party Chat Sports. Welcome back to the channel. It's one of your hosts, Caleb Gill. I hope everybody was able to enjoy their Christmas last week that celebrated the holiday, was able to spend some time with family and enjoy the Christmas holiday. Last weekend, that's what you do celebrate. There was some football. There was definitely football this last week, right? We've got some stuff to talk about. I think my big takeaway actually from all this Christmas and holiday season football and all that is let's please limit the amount of games that are played on like Christmas. We don't need 3 games on Christmas, especially when it's the 3 games that we got. We're not talking about those games today, but still a little rant I need to go on because it left the Sunday slate so blah. And I mean, you had Jim Nantz and Tony Romo calling a Browns game. What are we doing? It's week 17. That's what we're doing? Come on, NFL. Let's do better. I know you're money hungry, but we don't need 3 games on Christmas. We didn't need a Saturday game. Like, let's chill out. We're going to have a weird schedule this week, too. I think there'll be 2 Saturday games for week 18, and we'll dive into all that. But, man, the end is near. The end of the regular season is near. You can see the finish line, especially for some of those Jets fans and Browns fans and everybody else, Raiders, Giants, everybody else that's eliminated and just been waiting to get to the offseason. It's almost here. So with that said, my gosh. Let's get to your Week 17 Monday morning drive. All right. So, we're going to start your Monday morning drive off this week with a nice ice-cold refresher and also the Bucks-Dolphins game. This is a game that I thought the Bucks would just be able to walk in, take care of business. I'm shocked by the Dolphins. What they have done these last couple of weeks, granted, not the best of teams, but I thought Mike McDaniel was going to be one of the first head coaches fired. He might save his job. Like, he's 7-9 right now. It's not out of the realm of possibilities anymore that Mike McDaniel, if he can go to Stephen Ross and say, like, hey, we're cutting bait with Tua. We're going to eat the money. Let's hire a GM. Let's bring in a new quarterback. I'm still your head coach. If he can convince Stephen Ross, which Stephen Ross isn't the brightest owner, but Mike McDaniel might have saved his job this year. I'm shocked by that. This game, it felt early on like the Bucks. I think I said like halftime, third quarter. I texted the chat like Todd Bowles probably could get fired before the Buccaneers-Panthers game next week. I don't think that's going to happen because that game is going to mean something with the Panthers losing. We'll talk about that one. But it's not looking good for Bowles. And I'm a big Todd Bowles guy. I liked him, but he's not the greatest head coach. He's a very good defensive mind. So I'm curious, if he does get let go from Tampa, does he go on to take a defensive coordinator role somewhere, or does he just kind of like chill in his newly built house in North Carolina? Like, it's an interesting decision for him. Bucks are on a 4-game losing streak. Quinn Ewers got his first dub as a starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins in this one, as the Dolphins won 2017. They had to rely on the pass, Buccaneers did. There was no run game for the Buccaneers. Their leading rusher had 19 yards. That was Bucky Irving. Their next leading rusher was Baker Mayfield with 16. There was no ground game here for the Bucks. And I think maybe some of that was just they had to go away from it. And McMillan, I mean, he had a good day. 7 catches, 114 yards. Chris Godwin did have a good day. 7 catches, 108 yards. He did hit pay dirt. Baker finished 33 of 44, 346 yards, 2 tutties, 2 picks. While Quinn Ewers was 14-22 on the day, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for the rookie out of Texas. Devon Achane was 83 yards rushing on the ground. He was able to add. My biggest takeaway from this is the Buccaneers are in trouble. They do have a shot next week to win the division still at 8-9. They could be the only playoff team with a losing record. Both these teams are 7-9. And I did not expect... If you would have told me that both these teams were going to be 7-9 heading into week 18, I would have said no way. Especially with how the year started. The Dolphins were one of the worst teams in football. I thought they would win 3 or 4 games. The Buccaneers were one of the hottest offenses to start the year. Emeka Egbuka was making an early claim for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is MIA at the moment. It's been drastically different teams that we've seen for both these guys at the beginning of the year and now. And they're both now 7-9. So we'll see what week. There's a chance they both finish 7-10, which is shocking for both teams for different reasons. Dolphins win this one 2017. Another AFC East team. Actually, this was an AFC East matchup. The Patriots crowned AFC East champs. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, that one hurt. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. Damn it! Patriots AFC East champs. Oh. It's not fair! 42-10. The Patriots beat the Jets. And honestly, the Patriots could have hung 100 on the Jets if they wanted to. They pulled May out in the third quarter. If they let May play the entire game, it would have been the most points ever scored in an NFL game. If they wanted to. But he had his career high in passing yards, 5 touchdowns. He had 2 incompletions. 2 incomplete passes. Was 19-21. 256 yards. I already mentioned the 5 touchdowns. And Stephon Diggs balled. I was a little skeptical when the Patriots signed Stephon Diggs. But man, for all of his... He's not the greatest character. But he's a hell of a football player. And he's come to life a little bit here for New England. 6 catches, 101 yards. He had a receiving touchdown. He mossed Stiggers. Like, nothing was going their Jets' way. The Jets' only touchdown came on a 59-yard touchdown run from Breece Hall. He had 111 yards on the day. He is now the first Jet running back since Chris Ivory in 2015. 10 years ago was the last time the Jets had a 1,000-yard back, and now it's Breece Hall. Life ain't fair. Life ain't fair as a Jets fan. I need to go to like Jets Anonymous or something like that. This is ridiculous. It'll be interesting to see what the Jets offseason looks like, and I might force myself to do a whole Jets offseason episode. It's going to be painful. 42-10. Patriots Jets. Moving on. Steelers Browns. Okay, this made me happy today. So the Browns we're sitting at the 3rd overall pick in the NFL draft for everybody that watches Tankathon and is watching draft positioning. I needed the Browns to win. Because that helps move the Jets up. And also, I don't like the Steelers. I think I've made that pretty clear. I'm not a big Steelers guy. So this game starts off with Shedeur Sanders finding Harold Fannin Jr. Harold Fannin Jr. has been a baller of a tight end. Like, he's been so good. What a find by the Browns to get him. He's a steal. He has a touchdown. He gets hurt on the touchdown. And prior to that, Shedeur was playing, I thought, pretty well. He found Jerry Jeudy for a couple nights. He had some nice throws to Jerry Jeudy. He looked good to start, and I think when Fannin got hurt, it kind of when Shedeur kind of unraveled a little bit. And the stats don't really show like how. I don't want to say Shedeur was terrible. Dylan might, but I don't want to say Shedeur was terrible. Just wasn't good. He had some. His first interception, Jack Sawyer, he got sacked, and it kind of when he gets sacked, it sucks when you throw those interceptions, but it's not necessarily all on you. The second interception was definitely on him. I think the big takeaway, Shador's finished 17 of 23. So not bad. 186 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. But they just couldn't really get anything going offensively after that touchdown of Fannin. And that was early. That was first quarter. I think that might have been the first or second drive. The reason the Browns were able to win this game is because of Myles Garrett. And no, Myles Garrett did not break the sack record. But you heard about the damn sack record every freaking play for the Jets off. I mean, not Jets. I just saw it. I just had a Jets notification pop up. My bad. For the Steelers offense. And it's like they knew it down there on the field. They were so conscious of Myles Garrett trying to break the sack record against Aaron Rodgers. They focused and put so much time and effort into stopping Myles Garrett that they just couldn't operate as an offense. Like, so what? You don't want to get sacked. Yeah, nobody wants to get sacked. Nobody wants to be the team that Myles Garrett broke the sack record against Aaron Rodgers. Like, of course you don't want that. But just think, if you weren't so hamstrung and if you're trying so hard not to allow that to happen, and you actually let other things happen naturally, and if you get sacked, you might have won this game if you weren't putting so much focus and time and attention onto that. You scored 6 points as an offense, Steelers. 6. Their best drive came in the final minute, and they still couldn't even put points up on the board because they tried Denzel Ward 3 straight times. Why are you trying the same corner 3 straight times? It didn't work the first time, didn't work the second time. Why not try it a third? All the Steelers had to do was win this game, and they can rest everybody next week against the Ravens because you have the AFC North clinched. Now, you lost this game 13-6. You have to go and play Baltimore. Granted, it's at home, but you have to play the Ravens for the AFC North crown. It's like Tomlin got to 9 wins. Like, I'm done. I'm not sure how I feel about that game next week, actually. Steelers, Ravens. I'll have to think on that one. But this game in Cleveland today wasn't so much about the Browns winning. It was about the Steelers losing. The Steelers lost this game more than the Browns won it. That's how we got the 13-6 final in Cleveland for the Brownies. Bengals, Cardinals. The only highlight, really, for the Cardinals was Trey McBride. Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the league, and I bring this up every so often, but I remember I called the Toledo versus Colorado State football game a couple years ago. I was on the call for WXUT, that was the University of Toledo's radio station. Student-run radio station. I called the football game. And Trey McBride was on that field for Colorado State that day. And he was the one guy heading into that game as I was doing my prep. He kept coming up. I was watching him a little bit. I'm like, man, this guy's really good. Then I got to see him with my own eyes up in the press box while calling that game. And I knew, watching that game, watching him against the Rockets, how good he was going to be in the NFL. Maybe I didn't know he was going to be this good, but I knew he was going to be a damn good pro. He just broke the single season record, tight end record, for receptions in a year. He has 117 receptions and counting, breaking Zach Ertz's record, and that's still with 1 game to go. So Trey McBride, hats off to him. He finished the day 10 catches, 76 yards, and a tutty. He's been fantastic. Fantastic for the Cardinals. And if Marv can get his head out of his ass, Michael Wilson seems like a nice piece for the Cardinals. Get a run game, get a new quarterback. Like, there's some weapons there for the Cardinals to play with, if done correctly. The Bengals have all the weapons. They're playing with every card they have right now. Jamar Chase had 2 touchdown catches. He finished the day 7 catches, 60 yards, and of course those 2 tutties. The Bengals just breezed past the Cardinals. Burrow finished 24-31, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Chase Brown had 101 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. I think the big difference for the Bengals here was the second and third quarter. So going into halftime and coming out of halftime. That's like the most important quarters, I'd say, in football, because that can really determine how the rest of the game goes. The Bengals scored 16 second quarter points and came out of halftime and scored 14 more. That was GG's. Michael Wilson did have 5 catches, 89 yards, and a tutty, but still not nearly enough to beat the Bengals as they won 37-14 at home against the Arizona Cardinals. The Tennessee Titans, and this was an interesting game today against the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shuck finally was able to he rallied the troops there for the Saints in Tennessee. They scored 14 fourth quarter points, and it was 20-10 at halftime. The Titans were leading. 14 fourth quarter points. Shuck finished 22 of 27, 333 yards, 2 tutties, no picks, and 8 of his throws or completions were to Chris Olave, who finished today 119 yards and a touchdown. And then Juwan Johnson, 4 catches, 95 yards for him. Cam Ward made some plays. The stat sheet doesn't look good. 21 of 40, so just barely over 50%. 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. But there was some throws, some plays he was making where it's like, man, just get him some help. Get him a coach, get him some weapons. Like, he has the tools to be good. Okonkwo, go watch the replay of Okonkwo, the tight end for the Tennessee Titans. He had a huge touchdown. He finished 3 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Go watch his touchdown. It was damn near impressive when you get a moment. But still, the Saints able to win 34-26 in Nashville. Jaguars, 23-17 win against the Colts in Indy. The Jags have now won their 7th straight, and the Colts are winless right now with Philip Rivers under center. I think we might have seen the last of Philip Rivers. I don't think he plays next week. Who do the Colts have? The Colts have the Texans next week. I don't really see Philip Rivers dressing up in that one. He finished 17 of 30, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And I mentioned it last week. Watching Philip Rivers throw, it's a great story. It's awesome that he was able to come back. It was cool. But watching him play, it's sad. Like, he just, kind of shot puts it in. It's funky. Doesn't look right. And I know he never had the greatest throwing motion, but you could just tell, like, the juice is gone in his arm. T-Law, he was 23 of 37, 263 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. However, he had 2 rushing touchdowns. 2 on the ground. He continues to use his feet. He's been very impressive these last. I mean, the big reason they've won 7 straight is because of Trevor Lawrence, and it's like he finally clicked. Liam Cohen, the perfect coaching here for Trevor. And Parker Washington, 8 catches, 115 yards. Jaguars win 23-17. Seahawks-Panthers, this was a dud to start. It was 3-3 at halftime. And then the Seahawks come out and put up 24 points in the second half, and the Panthers just couldn't match. Charbonnet had 18 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground for the Seahawks. JSN, 9 catches, 72 yards. Darnold finished the day 18 of 27, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. A big reason why the Panthers weren't able to do anything, granted, the Seahawks defense is one of the best in the league, but you shouldn't be doing this. Bryce Young kind of reminded me of early season, like the Bryce Young that has given me concern throughout his career. He looked like that today. 14 of 24, only 54 passing yards. No tutties, 1 pick. Rico Dowdle had 59 yards. Rico Dowdle at 59 yards rushing had more rushing yards than Bryce Young had passing. And see, that doesn't feel right, right? But going to confirm, going to double check. 54. I believe. No. For some reason, I thought his pick was taken to the house, but maybe it was just a celebration. It was just not a good day. Bryce Young did have a rushing touchdown, but still. Not a good day for Bryce Young. They go into, the Panthers do, a pivotal Week 18 matchup in Tampa Bay. That's going to determine who gets the NFC South crown and who makes the playoffs, Panthers or Bucks. So if the Panthers are going to win, Bryce Young needs to play a lot better than 54 passing yards. That's for damn sure. The Seahawks could potentially... The Seahawks, depending on what happens tonight between the 49ers and the Bears. So by the time you're listening to this, I could be totally off here because I haven't watched the 49ers-Bears game yet. Seahawks and 49ers could be playing for not just the NFC West, but for the number 1 seed. So Week 18 is still going to have some fun stuff for us to sort through. A couple things that have already been sorted through. Draft position, right? Seahawks won that game 27-10, by the way. The Giants and the Raiders. This was the game of the week because of what it meant for the draft. Who's going to get the first overall pick? The Giants needed to lose, and that was going to secure them the first overall pick. The Raiders needed to win for a shot. Now, the Raiders, with a win, are positioned, as long as they lose to the Chiefs, to have that first overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. And that's going to be interesting depending on who all declares. It looks like Fernando Mendoza, maybe Dante Moore, and we'll get into a lot of draft conversation. I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. It feels like they probably take Fernando Mendoza, though I kind of like Dante Moore a little bit more in Vegas. In this game, though, the Giants, it's like they didn't care about draft positioning. They won 34-10. The Raiders positioned themselves for that first overall pick. Jackson Dart and Wan'Dale Robinson did not give a flying hoot. Dart finished 22 of 30, 207 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, but he did have 2 rushing touchdowns, 48 yards. So he continues to use his legs. And he felt unleashed a little bit in this game. Mike Kafka kind of unleashed him a little bit, letting him use his legs. Wan'Dale Robinson, his first career 1,000-yard season, and he balled out. 11 catches, 113 yards for the receiver. And that was enough. The Raiders, Geno was 20 of 28, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and the 1 pick was in the red zone. So when they threw that pick in the red zone, it's like, all right, this is game over. Raiders are not going to win. They don't care. He ended up getting hurt. His 1 touchdown was to his former Seahawks teammate Tyler Lockett, so kind of cool to see Lockett back. Ashton Genty, 60 yards rushing. The Raiders just need so much help. So much help. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do at head coach even. Like, is Pete Carroll back? I don't know. But the Raiders lose 34-10 against the Giants, but what they lose, they actually kind of win because they put themselves in the driver's seat for the first overall pick. Final game of your Monday morning drive, Eagles-Bills. It felt like the Eagles were running away with this one early. They were up 13-0 at half. The Bills just didn't have anything going offensively. And then the script kind of flipped. The Eagles offense stalled in that second half. Couldn't do anything. Nothing. They scored 0 points in the second half, while the Bills managed to score 12 fourth quarter points. They had 2 touchdowns, but the point afters is what killed them. They failed on the PAT. Because they failed the PAT, they were going to have to either kick that next field or that next touchdown. They're going to have to either kick for a tie or score the 2-point for the win. That blocked PAT essentially is what led to the Bills losing this game. Because the Bills had the momentum. Brandon Cook had a really good game. He had a really sick catch too. Tom Brady's on the call, calling him Cookie. Like, it was weird. 4 catches, 101. No, sorry. Yeah, 4 catches, 101 yards for Brandon Cooks on the day. And that final touchdown, Josh Allen had 2 rushing touchdowns. Both touchdowns in this game were Josh Allen rushes. So Josh Allen, that first touchdown, scores, PAT block. Bills get the ball back after stopping the Eagles, march down the field. Josh Allen again on 4th and goal, nonetheless, leaving 5 seconds left on the clock. There's some weird clock management stuff going on there, but it worked out in a way. Josh Allen punches it in, 13-12. Take the field goal, or do you go for 2? You go for 2. That's what everybody does nowadays. They're ultra aggressive. Goes for 2. Rolls out. I mean, he had his guy open in the left corner of the end zone. Just let him too much. And the PATs missed. So the Eagles hold on barely and beat the Bills 13-12 in Buffalo. Josh Allen finished 23-35, 241 passing yards. Again, no passing touchdowns, no interceptions, but did have those 2 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts, 13-27, 110 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. This offense for the Eagles started hot. A.J. Brown finished the day 5 catches, 68, most of those in the first half. Barkley, 68 yards rushing. It was a good Eagles first half, and then a terrible second half of the Eagles. They could be bounced in the playoffs, depending on who they play. I would not be surprised at all if the Eagles are 1 and done. The Bills next week have the Jets, so it'll be a good get-right game for them. They'll probably rest most of their starters since they don't have much to play for except for seeding. But the Eagles ultimately beat the Bills 13-12. So let's run through your Week 17 matchups from this morning's Monday morning drive. Dolphins upset the Buccaneers 20-17. Patriots behind 5 passing touchdowns from Drake May, who is putting himself well into that MVP conversation. 42-10 in MetLife against the Jets. The Browns upset the Steelers, who were too worried about Myles Garrett to even worry about anything else, like scoring points. Browns win 13-6 against the Steelers. Despite McBride setting the NFL single-season record for tight end receptions at 117 and counting, the Bengals beat the Cardinals 37-14 behind 2 touchdowns from Chase and 2 touchdowns from Brown. Chuck rallies the Saints. They beat the Titans 34-26 in Nashville. The Jaguars have now won 7 straight with a 23-17 win against the Colts in Indianapolis. The Colts remain winless without Philip Rivers. The Seahawks, with 24 second-half points, beat the Panthers 27-10. The Giants, no longer in the driver's seat of that number 1 overall pick, win 34-10 against the Raiders, who have put themselves in the driver's seat. The first overall pick in this upcoming draft. And the Eagles hang on barely as the Bills fall. 13-12 is a final for the Eagles over the Bills in Orchard Park. Thanks everybody for tuning in for this edition of the Monday Morning Drive. We'll be back this week with our final regular season preview. We've got the Week 18 preview that we're going to put up. Probably New Year's Eve will go up. So, man, I can't believe we're already here. Make sure you stay tuned to the channel. We're posting stuff on Twitter. I'm not as good on Twitter as I'd like to be, but still putting stuff up there. TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Got a lot of great things up there from previous episodes, so make sure you check those out. We're constantly putting stuff up on our YouTube feed. You can follow, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. All at Party Chat Sports. So until next time.